It was too little too late, and it was a good win to Tsunami. We're now looking at third and fourth place. Rugby India versus Singapore Development. These two teams haven't played each other. This will be a very... So India will get us underway in this Asian clash, but only propels itself 2 or 3 metres, and so it will be Singapore with the ball to kick things off. And here we go, we'll see a lot of entertaining rugby here. Both teams will throw the ball around, and this is a good start from Singapore, getting down, heading towards the 22. Quickly going through the hands. That's nice work, but good defence. We'll expect a lot of that good stuff from Rugby India. They've shown some very strong resilience, but up the middle, they've left a gap. And now the balls have come back. Now they're going to go through the hands out wide. It continues to go out wide, but there's not a player there to get it. So India looking to force the issue, trying to get into touch. Not quite. Now what's the sideline official? He's something, say something? He didn't put up his flag. Could have been a high tackle in there. Yes, it was across the shoulder, so Singapore will maintain possession. Nice little wrap round. The gap's opened up, looking for support, not quite there. Rugby India cleaning up. Now there's the overlap, almost through. They'll come back this way. Great tackle. The ball is still in motion. Turns around. Some counter-rucking from India. If they're not quick enough, they're not permitting anyone to the breakdown, so that's not going to happen. Oh, there she goes. There she goes again. We all know who that is, Jane Chung-Ching. And you will not see better footwork. That was beautiful to watch. That was just beautiful. There wasn't a lot of space there. It really wasn't. The first gap was quite small. The second one, the Indian player came across, and that was some tap dancing you saw right there. We'll have a look at that try again, I hope, and we'll just enjoy the brilliance of it. Jane has electrified this tournament. Certainly one of the most entertaining players we've seen out there, not only just for Singapore development, not just for the women, but for everybody involved here. Up she goes, not quite. So India, who have been starved of possession, will get a chance to show us their stuff. We all know they can score tries. We saw what they did to the Borneo Eagles. Scared the living daylights out of them with their attacking prowess. So let's see what they can do now. Inside ball. But it's been spilt. So that opportunity has slipped through their fingers somewhat. Must hold possession. Singapore to feed. No slips. In comes the defence. Well, that ball was borderline, but got away with it. That ball is also borderline, but the gods are favouring development at the moment. And another little heads up for them. They get the penalty. Here we go. Inside. Pitting some phases together. Which way do they want to go here? Here it goes. All right, now she's surrounded by two defenders. That won't matter, will it? Oh, it will. That's a great tackle. Oh, what a beautiful covering tackle that you stick with your player. Keep your eyes, no matter how good they are, just give it all you got, and that's exactly what she did. And this is our star, Jane. You can't blame her for rolling the dice and going for it, but what a covering tackle that was. We've seen some stunners in this tournament. The ball has gone back to rugby. They've got a long way to go to get out of trouble here. And it's been knocked on, however, by Singapore, so a little bit of a reprieve here for Rugby India in the form of a scrum. Just need to hold strong here. And they got it. And they're going to boot that. It's gone off the side of the boot, and now Singapore have an opportunity from that to put on try number 2 right before half time. At the back she goes. Pass, that wasn't so good, and now here comes India. No. What's the ref said here? It's a penalty, offside. So another opportunity for Singapore. They've had quite a few of them of late, and they will take a chance sooner or later, you would think. Here we go, going through the hands. There she is. And of course, Jane Chang Jing is going to put that ball under the black dot. When you need someone to finish the job, when you need someone to get things done, then you call upon that lady there. Scoring almost for fun in this tournament, and a vital asset for this Singapore development side. And so is that the half time? We heard the siren go off. Let's take a look here. Switches inside, just moving the ball around. Nothing really happening, but that's not really true either, because when the ball ends in Jane's hands, everything is happening. So we will see the kickoff as the clock goes into the red for the first half. The ball's gone back. India, they are capable of scoring long distance tries. They just need the opportunity. They can do it against the Borneo Eagles. And here's an opportunity right now. All right, here's some pace. Is there anyone who can get anywhere nearer? Coming across. That's probably one of the few people who couldn't catch them. And now the ball's being presented back. Keep going. Dummy. They've got numbers. The ball has gone forward. Yes, it has. What's the referee said? The penalty has gone to India's playing advantage, and they still have this advantage. Dummy going out one side, going to the next. Now there's a little bit of an overlap. Cover comes across, steps inside, lays it back. No one there, so the counter-rucking continues. Dives. Nah, can't do it. India continues the pressure. A try right before half-time would be golden for them. Tap free. They can see the try line. They can smell the try line. Rolls over. Try. Pick and go. The try has been scored. They've scored some spectacular ones. That's not spectacular, but boy, they will take it with both hands. And India now have got their first try of the game. They're down by 12 points to 5. Sliding this over will mean a great deal, but they're still going into the halftime with some momentum regardless.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just saw the conclusion of the first half of the game between Rugby India and the Singapore National Development Team. The unofficial score at half-time
Just falls short. So it will stay 12 points to the Singapore Development Squad to 5 points to Rugby India. It's been a joy watching both these teams. I've thoroughly enjoyed them playing, and they have not disappointed us in this game thus far. For third and fourth place, they're putting in a tremendous showing. Here it is, this girl here, Jane. She provides the highlights even when she doesn't score. But check that out for a great covering tackle. Never give up, never surrender. But you can't keep a good person down for long. And given another chance, and it was the tackler that took it the last time was the one that she beat. Can't be critical of her. This is her again, pouring forward, pick and drive. Just not enough red jerseys around here will get their chance. But Singapore got off to a great start by grabbing possession from the kickoff. Now they'll go through the hands. Strong Indian defence is right up in their face. Trying to create the overlap, but instead have to flick it inside, and there's still blue jerseys there. They look sharp at this Indian lineup. Unfortunate. They look sharper in defence, but it is Singapore still on the charge. And they've grabbed the ball there, India. Wait. No, I've got that completely wrong. I swore these went towards them. Instead, he was calling them out for a yellow card. Well, that's the opposite of what happened. You're going to have to dig deep here. And not without surprise, Singapore called for a scrum to bring 3 Indian players into the scrum and out of the defensive line. You'll bet they'll break out of that pretty quickly. But what can Singapore do here? Here they go, loses their feet. Can't get clean ball away. Good strong defence there by India. Singapore stepping inside, looking around, and this looks like it's going to be a try. Yes, it is. That's a try to Singapore, sorry. Just that offload just proved all the difference. Dragged in 2 defenders, offloaded the ball. There's a player in the sin bin, and that was all that Singapore needed to get off to a really, really positive start. As the offloading makes a huge difference in this game, particularly when the opposition is down a player. So a great start to this second half for Singapore, and not the start that Rugby India wanted at all. We take a look here. Beating players, looking around, popping the ball up. There's your teammate. Try time. Here goes India, Team India again. Oh no, they've dropped the ball. And immediately Singapore, they're sensing blood in the water and they're really going for this. Inside ball, outside ball. Looks like it must have come off an Indian player. And so the bounce of the ball is the luck of the draw, whatever you want to call it. It's just not going with the Indian girls for this game. My suspicion here is that Borneo game, where they were huge, highly competitive, may have just sucked the life out of them a little bit, may have just drained them of a little bit of energy. It doesn't look like they've come back into this game with quite the same amount of energy. It was a big contest, and I think they've just lost their edge here. And here goes Singapore, sneaking behind that scrum, finding room, trying to get over the ball, and succeeding India. And they're not mucking around, they have to get on with this. They're 2 converted tries behind. Going down that blind. One more pass, as she has to come back inside. There's 2 development players there, but they've gone high. Not hard to do against these Indian girls. They're built quite close to the ground. Looking, there's a nice pass. Oh, that one's gone to ground. Now what is he doing? Yeah, she ran off the field before she even saw the gear. I don't think she even looked at the yellow card. She just came straight off the field. So that was for an attempted intercept that went wrong. And now it's India against a 6-person defensive line. Cuts the ball out and knocked on. Yeah, just not quite as sharp as they have been this tournament. If you haven't seen the rest of the tournament, be rest assured this is a very competitive and strong Indian side. They've been playing at a very high standard of rugby, competing against everyone they've played against. The game, I think, against Borneo Eagles was the highlight of this tournament for them. But I think it's just drained them a bit. Singapore bringing the changes. They've been very good as well, it must be said also. This is 3rd and 4th place. So these guys are right up there. Just lost their semi-finals. So short arm. Takes the tap and run. Oh, that's a heavy tackle. And coming out, he says, there's a yellow for you. So again, just a little bit of lack of discipline from both sides now. This game is winding down. One feels it's going to be very difficult for India to win from here, so both teams are now just looking for our opportunities to finish on a high. Singapore development, driving forward to the 22, going that open, inside, she's calling them inside, drags them forward. India just holding on. Pops it back. There's got to be some space out there somewhere. There's only 6 of them. But they are playing quite well even at this late stage of the game, with the game very close to ending. Almost through. India coming in. The ball hits the ground. There's a gap right there, but the ball is not good. It came off an Indian arm. 30 seconds left to go. You would think it is Singapore who has the chance to finish this game with a try. So Singapore emptying the bench for these last moments, giving all the girls a run, rewarding the squad. Good push. Over the top. It's now a foot race. She steps inside. The cover was good enough. The ball's been dropped back. Straight up the middle. Still going. India not giving up. Singapore not giving up. India, here's their chance to finish with a try. They've got the length of the field to go, but we've seen them do it. Going through hands. Looking for opportunities. What's the call there? Offside. India still going, still not giving up. They've been good. They've been really good. There's the overlap, but she keeps it. Singapore keep getting themselves into trouble here. They're going to get yellow carded. I imagine if they do it one more time, that's about 3 or 4 in a row now. Well, there's numbers. Lots of numbers. Cover's coming. That's a good little ball. And the ball's hit the ground. It's gone backwards, so it's play on. Half a break made, crossing the halfway line. I don't know if India's even been in this half of the field for the second half. But this is their chance right now to finish this tournament on a really strong note. They've played well. I think they deserve a bit of a crack here. Here they go, straight up the middle, straight up the field, and they will finish with a very, very well-deserved try. Both these sides have been good, and I think India deserve a try to finish their campaign here. It's been a hard-fought game. It's been a very hard-fought tournament for both these sides, and it's nice just to have a scoreline that kind of reflects that. High fives with the Singapore girls. But India can feel very, very happy with their efforts. They have been a surprise packet for me for this tournament, and Singapore have been very good as well. Let's not take
There
anything
you
away
have
from
it,
them.
ladies and gentlemen, the clash of two continents at this year's
Well done,
Borneo
India.
Sevens, the greenest sevens
Well
in the
done,
world.
Singapore. Third and
So
fourth
the
place have been
conclusion of
sorted
the
out
game between
and done in very
Rugby
competitive
India
fashion.